Let's do the neck muscles first. These right here are high on the trachea. These are called the sternohyoids. This muscle right here, which is wrapping around the neck, this is your sternomastoid. And then in between the two on either side of the trachea is your sternothyroid, right there. This muscle inferior under the jaw, this is the mylohyoid. And then your upside down V is your gastric muscle right there. Your cheek muscle is your masseter muscle. If we come out to the chest, this first muscle, which goes out across the chest and out onto the arm, this is your pectoantebrachialis. Next one is your pectoralis major, and then your pectoralis minor right in here somewhere. So here's pectoralis major, here's pectoralis minor, and then the last one is your xiphi humerales. If we come out across the arm next, we have the epitrochlearis right here, thin one, and we're going to peel this back to reveal some muscles underneath it. So underneath it, we've got the long head of the triceps brachii, which you can see on both sides right there. And then we have the medial head of the triceps brachii. And then underneath the pectoantebrachialis, we have the biceps brachii right there. There's your biceps brachii. If we go deep now to the chest muscles, we have got the scalenes, which is running with the body, with the axis of the body right there. We've got your serratus ventralis muscles right here. You've got your external intercostal muscles, which are basically the muscles between the ribs. And then if we come out across the arm right here, we'll do this one. This large muscle on the flank, this is your latissimus dorsi. Back muscles, this is your clavotrapezius, acromiotrapezius over top of the shoulder blade, and then your spinotrapezius forming a little triangle right there. Arm muscles, we've got the clavodeltoid right here. We've got the acromiodeltoid right there, and then the spinodeltoid right there. And then there's your levator scapula. Lateral side of the arm, this is your lateral head of the triceps brachii. And then your brachialis is right here. Is it intersected on this side? Yeah, kind of. There's your brachialis right there between the clavodeltoid and the lateral head of the triceps brachii. Then we have the brachioradialis on the forearm right there, the lower front arm. If we go deep on the back now, we peel this acromiotrapezius back, and we reveal the supraspinatus right there, and the subscapularis on the medial side of the scapula. On either side of the neck, you have the little thin muscle right here. This is your rhomboideus capitis, and then the muscle on the side of the neck, that's your splenius muscle. So I'm going to cut this a little bit here. So there's your splenius on either side of the neck, underneath the clavotrapezius. Okay, there's your rhomboideus capitis again. Rhomboideus muscles, a lot of small, short little muscles attaching the back of the shoulder blade to the spine right there. Okay, if we come out across the abdomen now, this most superficial muscle, this is your external abdominal oblique. And if you pull the fibers tight, you'll notice that the fibers are running in this direction. Peel that away, and the next layer is your internal abdominal oblique, which on this cat has kind of been cut, but this is all internal abdominal oblique. Your muscle fibers, if you pull those tight, they're running more in this direction. Peel that back, and we reveal the next layer of abdominals. This is your transverse abdominis, with the muscle fibers running roughly in the transverse plane. And then if you get to the center here, you have another muscle where the muscle fibers are running with the axis of the body. And this is your rectus abdominis right here on either side. If we come back to the hind leg now, this is your sartorius muscle, and we've peeled that back out of the way. On the lateral side, this is your gluteus medius right here. This is your gluteus maximus. This is your cauda femoralis. and then your biceps femoris right there. Sort of underneath the sartorius muscle, we have a piece of tough connective tissue. This connective tissue is called the fascia lata right there. And then the muscle attached to the fascia lata is the tensor fascia lata. Peel that back, peel the sartorius back, and we reveal the quadricep muscles. So 1, 2, 3. On the lateral side, this is your vastus lateralis. In between, this is your rectus femoris. On the medial side, this is your vastus medialis right there. And then if we now go to the medial side of the leg, both sides are dissected, but one looks a little bit better, so we'll do this side. The most superficial muscle on the medial side, this is your gracilis. So I've cut this and we're going to peel this back. That then reveals a nice series of muscles. The most posterior one, this is called the semitendinosus right there. I think of it as being thin like a tendon. Here, next you have the semimembranosus. I think of it as wide like a membrane. Then you have a set of adductor muscles. This is your adductor femoris. The next one in the series is your adductor longus, and then your pectineus muscle, and then your iliopsoas, which runs with the length of the body. So there's your iliopsoas right there. If we come down now to the lower hind limb, a good place to start is the tendocalcaneus right here. This is another piece of connective tissue you need. Attached to the tendocalcaneus, you have two muscles. The larger one is your calf muscle. This is your gastrocnemius. You also have a smaller muscle attached to the tendocalcaneus. This is your soleus muscle. And then you have your fibularis muscle, which comes next. And this one, if you follow it down, it goes down along the lateral side of the leg. Next, you have your extensor digitorum longus. And if you follow this one down, it sort of curves and then comes out on the front side of the leg, of the foot. So extensor digitorum longus. And then on the very front, you have your tibialis anterior muscle. So did that get them all?
About the rest of the connective tissue.
Rest of the connective tissues. This is your lumbodorsal fascia, this real tough, big, diamond-shaped piece of connective tissue. And then you have your linea alba, which is your little white line running in the center of the abdomen. You got the scalenes and the serratus. They're underneath the pectoral muscles right here. Scalenes running with the axis of the body, right there. And then the serratus ventralis underneath the latissimus dorsi, right there. Is that all of them?